Today, we're uncovering a coin so rare, so bizarre and so valuable, it's shaken the entire coin collecting world. I'm talking about the legendary 1982 D small date copper Lincoln penny error, a 1 in a billion minting. How did this freak coin slip past the US Mint? Stick with me till the end of this video. We're about to crack open the rarest Lincoln penny mystery, the backstory. Let's rewind to 1982, a transitional and chaotic year for the US Mint. Prior to 1982, all Lincoln cents were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Each penny weighed 3.11 grams. But here's the kicker: copper prices skyrocketed. At one point, it cost more than a cent to make a penny, so in 1982, the US Mint made a big decision: switch the penny's composition from copper to copper-plated zinc, which is much cheaper. These new coins would weigh 2.5 grams, auction sales record and market value. So, what's the actual market value of this coin? Let's break it down. In circulated condition, if verified, experts believe it could fetch between $169,000 to $195,000 in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially MS63 and higher. The value could jump to $227,000 or even more at auction. Only one has been authenticated by PCGS. So, if you find another, you'll literally be writing history and potentially be at the center of $1 million bidding war among collectors, museums, and investors. The one certified example was graded MS63 brown by PCGS, and while it hasn't gone to public auction yet, estimates suggest that if it did, it could exceed $200,000 easily, especially given recent spikes in rare coin demand. How TO identified a 1982 D small date copper penny. Check the mint mark. Look right beneath the date. If there's a D, it's from the Denver Mint. Now normally, that would eliminate the possibility of a small date version, right? But we're looking for the impossible. A 1982 D small date struck in copper. Identify the small date versus large date. Focus on the shape of the numbers in the date. Small date, the tops of the 8 and 2 align more evenly. The 2 has a sharper curve and tail. The overall date looks taller and more compact. Weigh the coin. Use a digital scale that reads to 2 decimal points. Copper pennies, pre-1982 and early 1982, weigh about 3.11 grams. Zinc pennies, post-1982, weigh around 2.5 grams. If your 1982 D small date penny weighs 3.10 to 3.12 grams, congratulations, you might be holding one of the rarest coins on Earth. But don't get ahead of yourself. Only one has been verified so far. If you think you have one, it needs to be authenticated by PCGS or NGC. One of the rarest and most mind-blowing US Mint errors ever discovered, the 1983 D copper Lincoln penny error. But what makes this penny so special? Why was it never supposed to exist? And how can you tell if you have one of these fortune-changing cents? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know the full story, but you'll also learn how to identify one of these elusive and insanely valuable coins. The background. Let's rewind to the year 1983. That year marked a huge turning point in US coin production. For decades, pennies were struck using 95% copper and 5% zinc, but in 1983, that all changed because copper had become too expensive. By 1983, the metal in a penny was worth more than 1 cent, and the US Mint couldn't afford to keep making money at a loss. Starting mid-1982, all new Lincoln cents were produced using a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper, dramatically reducing production costs. Collector buzz and market demand. Collectors and dealers are always hunting for the next big find, and error coins like the 1983 D copper penny are becoming the new gold rush in numismatics. Here's why this coin is especially valuable. It has documented rarity, only one authenticated so far. It has a clear, historic minting anomaly. It appeals to both error collectors. Auction sales price and value. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. How much is this error penny actually worth? Let's look at the numbers. In 2013, a 1983 D copper penny in mint state 64 red, MS64RD, sold for a jaw-dropping $17,625. But just a few years later, after collectors realized the true rarity and importance of the coin, prices skyrocketed. A well-preserved 1983 D copper penny was estimated to be worth $220,000 to $260,000, and experts believe a high-grade example could command $300,000 or more at a premium auction. That's right, a single penny that looks like every other coin in your drawer could be worth has ever been discovered. How to identify a 1983 D copper Lincoln penny. Alright, now let's talk about how you can spot this rare error, because to the untrained eye, the 1983 D copper penny looks just like a regular one. But there are key ways to identify it. Check the date and mint mark. Look for a 1983 Lincoln cent with a D mint mark below the date. That indicates it was minted in Denver, where the error occurred. Weight the coin. A normal 1983 D zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams, but the error coin made of solid copper should weigh around 3.1 grams. You'll need a precise digital scale that measures to the tenth of a gram. If your 1983 D penny weighs around 3.1 g, You may have something special confirm composition if weight suggests copper. Get a coin XRF tested, X-ray fluorescence. A coin dealer or grading service can do this.